Welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing just a reading book tag. It is the Reading Habits book tag. I saw Peruse Project do this and I thought some of the questions were really fun and interesting, so I thought I would go ahead and do it. So the first question is, where do I do most of my reading? And that would be in this room by my bookshelves, or it would be in my living room on my sectional couch. On our chaise lawn, I can kind of just lay out. My dog usually sits in between my legs or curled up next to me, a cup of tea, and I honestly could read for hours. Question number 2 is bookmark or a random piece of paper. So right back here, I don't know if you can see it, I actually have a cute Harry Potter mug filled with all of these lovely bookmarks that I have purchased from work or received in the mail, but I have a tendency to not grab a bookmark or forget it or lose it. So though I would like to say I use bookmarks the most, I also have to admit that I have a tendency to use hair elastics or a piece of paper or honestly whatever I can get my hands on. The only thing I will not do is dog ear my books because it physically hurts me to do so. So question number 3 is, can you just stop reading or do you have to stop after a chapter / certain amount of pages? In a day, I make a certain amount of pages as my goal. Within reading sessions, I can basically stop anywhere in a book. And what I will do is I usually tend to stop at the top of a page or the first paragraph into a page, so then I have a bit of a reset for my brain so I can reread that paragraph. So what I will do is I will finish off a page, read the first paragraph of the next page, and then I can put a mental stop, a mental pause, and when I come back, reread that paragraph, and it's kind of just like very seamless. The rest of the previous page comes back to me. Though I do like to end on a chapter, I always try and squeeze in reading where I can so it's not always realistic, especially when you have a dog and a partner and work, and if you're trying to read on the bus on the way home or in between my spin class, it's really hard to squeeze in a full chapter, so sometimes I just have to make do with a page. Question number 4 is, do you eat or drink while reading? And to this, I say, of course. Just like every moviegoer would like popcorn at the cinema and every TV watcher would like chips before their favorite show comes on, I absolutely love to snack while I read. I have a tendency to cut up bananas and put peanut butter across the top, which is kind of a messy snack, or I will have hot Cheetos, which if you eat them, you know, can be very, very detrimental to your book because that red dust gets absolutely everywhere. So, knowing that, I have stained a couple of books, though I try my best not to. Question number 5, multitasking. Music or TV while reading? And to this, I say, why not? So, oftentimes, I can put music on and it's a really nice background just filler noise while I read. Little known fact about me, I actually grew up with 4 brothers. I come from a very large family and I was a reader when I was younger. So being able to read in the chaos of growing up with 4 brothers has instilled in me as an adult being able to read on public transit, listening to music while the TV is on. My partner is an avid gamer and movie watcher, so oftentimes as a way to sort of just be around him, I will go read on the living room couch while he's watching something. I myself am not a huge TV watcher. There's a couple of shows that I follow, or I will watch Netflix. So beyond that, I'm not really a TV person, but I do get a lot of my reading done in front of the television so I can spend time with my partner and it does not bother me at all. I can essentially tune out a hurricane if I was trying, and it's an especially good book. Question number 6, one book at a time or several at once? And to that I say, usually several. Ideally, I would like to read one book at a time, but the way I do my reading is I have an e-reader, which oftentimes I will take to commute, and I also will always have a commuter book that I keep in my backpack and I will read on public transit and at lunch at work. And then I keep my bigger hardbacks that are hard to tote around, like Priory of the Orange Tree or Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. I can't realistically tote that around, so that stays at my house, and I refuse to not read during the day. So I usually have a commuter book and one at home. Usually I do nonfiction along with a fiction book, and sometimes if I'm feeling crazy, I will mix up my fiction. Question number 7, reading at home or everywhere? I think this is pretty much answers itself. Question number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head? I'm just gonna say silently in my head and move on. Question number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? Absolutely not. If I'm really not enjoying a book and I have invested 95% of it and there's 20 pages, then I will speed read, which is I divide my pages into two, or I will skip every other word. When you divide your pages into two, you read the first word of the sentence, the two words in the middle, and then the ending of a sentence. It's something that I learned in university that my professor taught me, and you can get the context of the story at cutting 75% of the book that remains out. Question number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. So I used to try and keep all of my books like new. I was really weird about breaking the spine and not injuring my books, but sometime in the last 3 to 6 months, I think it's like having an older dog that just tends to hop on everything and lay down where he can, and I can't really get mad at him. And my partner's damaged a couple, and when I got upset, I then just immediately felt bad that I got upset, because really it's just a book and it's meant to be read. So I used to be very crazy and anal about how my books were treated. I wouldn't even let friends borrow them, but now I'm a little more blasé, que sera, sera. It's a book, and if I need to, I can replace it, and it's really not worth getting upset over. Books are meant to be loved. So that is the reading book tag. If you'd like to subscribe, I make videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and I will see you Wednesday with a new video.